never get the body of the person who fell in there. And it started at Lukla, alias Kagami. You do rope ascension training, push rather, often being the only time climbers do not do some things again. So KG did it.
I'm proud of them, and I've actually not done any mountain so far. Yeah, my name is James Kagambi. In the mountains, I'm called KG. I'm a mountaineer. Yeah, last year I summited Everest, and the reason why we are here is to launch my book, which we launched 2 days ago in Nyeri, and it's called Journey to Everest. This is the first edition. Other editions will be coming out soon. It's important, and we have seen that in third world countries, that when outdoor education is incorporated in the education, children tend to learn more. If you put children in classrooms all the time, it's just it doesn't go well. They feel restricted, they are sitting, they get bored. But when they go out and learn outside, it sinks. And on top of that, when they go out, they are seeing a tree. Somebody is helping them identify that tree, and how can you use that tree? They are starting to see their relationship between them and nature. And if we don't do that, there's no one time that they will see that nature is important. We need to get them out so that they can realize that, and they can help us maintain what we have and fight against climate change. I have been a mountaineer for the last 35 years. I started as a teacher, a primary school teacher. I taught for like 6 years before I quit. In fact, I was very good with coaching people in athletics, in soccer and all that. My school always did very well. And then I left teaching there, and I started doing mountains. I started by rock climbing. Then I started doing Mount Kenya. I went Kilimanjaro. I've climbed Kilimanjaro over 150 times, Mount Kenya over 300 times. I was the first African to summit the highest mountain in America in 1989. 1994, the first black African to summit Aconcagua in Argentina. I represented Africa in 1991 on a wild peace climb. And I've done and taught in many other mountains. I teach people how to mountaineer. It has been difficult for us as mountaineers. In 1991, when I was asked to represent Kenya on a peace climb in Switzerland, I went to Ministry of Sports and Culture then and asked for sponsorship. And the answer I got was, mountaineering is not considered as a sport, so it does not have a vote. That was discouraging. I sold everything I had to go on that expedition. I went, conquered, came back, and since then I've been talking about it. And I would like, this is the right time for the government to do that. When I went to Everest cost 10 million. And I went and asked, could I get something from the government? Again, it's not a sport. But we see athletics people, when they are going out, they are supported. When they come back, they even get tokens. I'm not looking for token, but if we consider mountaineering as a sport, then a lot of people can have opportunities. We can have us, even NGOs, even other companies, corporates, can then say, okay, we can support this sport. So a lot of people have seen what I'm capable of, even before I thought I was capable of doing anything. When I started mountaineering, I would be asked to do stuff, and I didn't know that I was just showing that I was good. I'm a good leader. So after COVID, there's this Narumoro Children's Home that takes care of children that are living with disabilities, makes those physio legs for them, straightens bow-legged legs for kids. It has a physiotherapy program, and for kids all over Kenya. And the sponsors withdrew. And the board came to me and said, can you come up with something we can do every year to raise money for these kids? And I agreed. That was 2020. And we planned I came up with a way to go up the mountain one day. People have opportunities to go even for 3 or 4 or 5 days. This year, that expedition will happen on 3rd June. Last year, while I was on Everest climbing, I was able to organize it and we raised 1.5 million. We are looking into raising 5 million this year, and the date will be on 3rd June, and the event will be hiking from the Narumoro Gate of Mount Kenya National Park to Med Station and back. It will take about 5 hours. I would like to tell Kenyans that mountaineering is advantageous in so many ways. There's social, physical, and mental development, especially mental. I see a lot of people getting to a point whereby they can't think well. They cannot think straight just because there's so many things loaded in their head. And all they need is a break. Can you take a break down here? No, you can't. You have a phone. You have people calling you all the time. You have work. Get up, go to the mountain. There's no network. Stay for a few days without contacting anybody. Just enjoying, looking at nature. When you come back, you feel like you've been born again. Socially, it also helps bond with a few people. It teaches you how to team build better. And then physically, we are getting out of shape, and if you walk, your body develops in a better way. It ages slower than when you're just seated and driving car. The reason why I wrote this book and what motivated me is being asked so many questions. I teach in America, South America, in India, and also in Tanzania. I teach young kids, I take young kids to the outdoors and teach them how to live there. They learn how to cook for themselves, how to think for themselves, make decisions, how to work together. And we are not doing that in Kenya. And I wanted to start spreading that out. And a book was a good answer. People are asking me so many questions. I'm being called in so many places to give talks. Last week, I opened the first conference of outdoor educators in the whole world. I'm the one who was the keynote speaker. And those are the things that are telling me that, yes, people are recognizing this. And through those forums, I'm able to talk about some of these things. So I hope this book will go a long way into doing that, and I encourage people to read it. One thing I can say about mountains, for people who don't believe in climate change, if you go to mountains, like if you go to Rwenzori or Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, and you have been going there, you are regular, you can actually see that change drastically. Snow that you left up to here, it has receded for 1 meter in maybe a very 1 month. You go back, it's not there. A place that was full of ice, you go back, it's all rock. And yeah, it's the best way to know that, yes, there's something happening. The last presentation I did, where I got awarded the Climb of the Year by American Alpine Club in New York, I was talking alongside Al Gore, who is the former Vice President of America, who is the main guy who is behind climate change to drive it. And the reason why he was invited is because even us, our goal is to bring people out and realize that there is a menace and people need to understand. Yes, I plant a lot of trees. Last week, I led the army in planting over 3,000 trees near Bantu in Nanyuki. And then we went up to another place where we planted more than 2,000. I'm an honorary warden, and we have our own area, 3 of us, whereby we are planting trees to bring forest back, a place that is in the forest but has nothing. It's bare. And we have started that, and we hope it will be successful with the rains.
Mimi naitwa Simon Kamori, na mimi ni mwenzake ama tulifanya kazi kwa muda fulani na KG, na nimekuja hapa kusupport hii kazi anafanya na kumshangilia kwa yale mambo amefanya na kwa kuandika hiki kitabu, na naamini ya kwamba hiki kitabu kinaweza kuwezesha watu wadogo na wazee, vijana, watu wa tabaka zote kuweza kufanya jambo kubwa kuliko yale wameweza kufanya hapo awali. Kwa hivyo ningesema watu wajaribu kusoma, na hiki ni kitabu ambacho ni kidogo, edition ambayo ni fupi, na tumekuja kushangilia haya. He's a Kenyan hero. Kama ambavyo amesema, ni muhimu watu kuanza kufundishwa ama kujifunza outdoor education na environmental conservation. Na njia mzuri ni ya kutoka huko nje na kuenda kujumuika kwa nature ili watu waweze kujua mengi zaidi. Kwa hivyo ingekuwa vizuri kama watu na organizations za aina zote na serikali zingeweza kuchukulia hili jambo kama ni muhimu, ili liwe katika masomo, lipewe nafasi kwa masomo wa watoto wanaokuwa kwa sports, na hata makampuni ambayo yanaweza kushikilia hayo jambo iweze kuwa la muhimu la kufuatiliwa na kuchukua nafasi ya kufundisha especially wale watoto wanaokuja juu. Tunajua ya kwamba kuna shida ya mabadiliko ya hali ya anga. Ningesema hero kama KG awe recognized, apewe nafasi, ako na nafasi ya kuongea na kuendeleza haya mambo ya outdoor education na environmental conservation. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanasimamia na wana interest na hayo mambo, stakeholders wote waweze kusupport ile kazi anafanya. Kwa hivyo wasi-ignore, wachangie kwa njia yoyote, kwa pesa, hali, mali, kwa kumpa nafasi aweze kuendeleza haya masomo.
Bringing pride to both Kenya and Tanzania when he's in East Africa. I credit my love for birds with KG. And as you well know, we're hiking up in Maasai land. And he said to Melinda, why don't you get into birds, right? Then it kind of kills the days, and every day is exciting. Every time you walk, you'll always see birds, right? As opposed to waiting for that big lion and the big whatever. You can actually be learning every single day. His passion to share the message of mountaineering to Kenya. Mountaineering needs to be recognized as a sport. That is a message that he carries. He carries messages on environmentalism, reforestation. He's an honorary warden. And he's got a heart for young people. He is a patron and a supporter of the Narumoru Children's Home for the Disabled. And his Facebooks and Instagram is, I'm planting 1,000 trees today. I'm participating in this. I'm taking children fishing. I'm doing all these things. So it's just wonderful to have a Kenyan ambassador such as KG who really cares about his country and does everything that he can to inspire the next generation in mountaineering and environmentalism.